Hey, what's up everyone? Experimenting with a different format here for just video content around what we do, animal evacuations and everything. This is already kicking off pretty drastically. We are in Kupiansk. Kupiansk is in the east. It's about 2 hours east of Kharkiv, right at the front. There's really a lot of activity going on there. As you can see from the map, there's the left side of the river and the right side of the river. The right side of the river has a bit more activity just because it's closer. And then obviously places like where we're driving right now are just very popular targets for glide bombs, artillery, whatever it may be. And this road is flooded, probably because something further upriver has kind of given way, because this road is normally just dry. It's not supposed to be wet like this. I've driven over it in summer, in winter, when it's frozen. It's really the part before that's part of a river, but everything is flooded now. So here we are in Kupiansk Vuzlovi, which is the right side of the river. We got an evacuation request. That's usually how it works. And here we're lucky enough to get exact GPS locations, which is really not always the case. So very thankful for these kind of situations that occur. We try to use these plastic boxes instead of big metal ones. They do break quicker, but for these kind of short trips, very, very important. Now, in this case, we're also fortunate that the owner is still there. Oftentimes, the owner is not there anymore, and the owner can really help us get the dog inside the box, and that's because the owner can be more forceful or more physical with the dog to try and convince it to get in a box. That doesn't work as well with strangers for obvious reasons. A lot of these dogs in the East are guard dogs, so it makes a lot of sense. But this dog's not too bad. He's just confused about what's going on, and he's been at the shelter now for a little bit, and he's just doing great. So he might look petrified here, but he is doing great. And now it's just time to load up the dogs, or the dog in this case. The problem is we've taken a small vehicle because we are on the right side of the river and we're just a bit closer to the action. We don't want to take the large white van that looks like an ambulance. You'd be surprised, but those kind of vehicles do get targeted by drones especially, and just everything else really. So this car here is better. There's a lot of controversy and discussion around these things, color, look, and all these kind of things, because you can be green and look like military, you can be white and then stand out and be an ambulance. I really like this small black car. It feels like it has a very small visual footprint from an aerial position, because there's just a lot of drones in the air, especially on a day like this, where it's just so sunny. So, you have three different kinds of drones. You really have this mothership drone. There's not many of those. They'll drop artillery shells or mortars or whatever. Just kind of improvised bombs, if you will. Or it'll drop drones. So you have mothership drones now, which is crazy. Then you have the recon drones, which tend to have just better optics. You can see really far. They're really the ones that give you intelligence. Oftentimes it's just a Mavic, or they just, a lot of these are industrially made these days. And then the worst is FPV drones, which are kamikaze drones, and they're just loaded with a payload and then smash into you and hope that they destroy you. So yeah, not great. You can tell the difference between the recon drones and the FPV drones generally by the pitch of just the motor. FPV drones are just a lot higher pitched. You just hear them zooming around. And yeah, this is we're still on the right side of the river, but yeah, these are the kind of things you have to really watch out for in territories like this. So you really just want to stay on the move, if anything, and not become too static and become a target. So really just a couple of minutes in every place is more than enough, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. Otherwise, if you are going to stay longer anywhere, even if for just a couple of minutes and you park somewhere, you try to do it under trees. Again, it's just better from a safety point of view. So you'll always see vehicles parked under trees. Now we're going to go back to the other side. However, the bridge was actually closed off because there was a threat or a warning of a bomb or whatever kind of incoming ammunitions. And we just have to wait. That's kind of the game. I've been over this road so many times over the last year, and it is just a very popular target. I've seen this with different types of bridges: pontoon bridge, man-made dirt bridge. I think it's a man-made dirt bridge, and now it's flooded. There's always something. The dog is quite stressed. Makes a lot of sense. He's probably never even been in a vehicle before, or maybe once when he was a lot younger, but they really don't go out otherwise. And then Sveta on our team just does a really amazing job playing this kind of command center throughout the trips, throughout just days in general, really liaising with all the different people who want their animals evacuated. Sometimes it's the person that is actually there, which is great. Oftentimes they're not there. Even worse than it's when it's a family member. So yeah, a lot of good work there. Now the bridge is finally open again, which is great, so we can cross and get on our way. There's a lot of hurry up and waiting. Obviously in these kind of situations, you hurry up to a position and then you just have to wait for something else. So yeah, I've learned that motto or whatever out here. There's a lot of hurry up and wait. So a lot of military guys were also waiting. They're also crossing. We'll get back across. Now, fortunately enough, like we've done this route a few times now with the water, so we kind of know the way, which is good. And what I mean by way is, where are the holes in the water, because you can't really see them. On a day like this, it's obviously a bit better, but you know, when you go during a rainy day, you won't see anything. So knowing where the holes are, it's quite useful. Or you see the car in front of you and see what kind of mistakes they made, like he just drove into this huge hole. So here on the left side, you can see where the bridge was previously, and now that's destroyed. So now what we're driving on is a man-made. Now, unfortunately, our car actually broke down, which is quite unfortunate. Usually it doesn't. We've had a lot of good luck, but in this case, they're not related to the water at all, but just a piece broke and it was just past its time. So we actually had to get towed out of the city by military, which you'll see in a moment, and just wait for our van to actually show up. So we were sitting for 3 hours outside of town, waiting for another employee of the shelter to come with the van so we can start using the van. So what you'll see now is us 3 hours later here back in Kupiansk with the van. That really stands out visually if you've been listening. So we don't want to stick around too much with that one, and definitely park it under trees. This dog did sound very nuts, and I feel like I've gotten a pretty good sense of when these dogs are going to be ultra aggressive, and I absolutely was not wrong here. This dog did not want to go anywhere, even with the owner there, which is usually quite surprising. Thankfully, this dog had a muzzle on. I think it would have been more stressful otherwise. But generally speaking, with the catching pole, it goes quite well. I also try to reassure people as much as I can. These are very quick interactions. You're in, you're out, and you just want to show them that you care, about their pet, and that you want to give them as much confidence as you can that everything's going to be okay with the dog.
I'm not sure about my power.
Yeah, he's absolutely not having it. And what I didn't realize here is once we got him in the box, he actually managed to knock off the gate in front. So that completely unhooked. We're trying to get him back in. He then is able to kind of force his way back out. As you'll see in a moment, Sveta's trying to get the gate back on just as nothing works. So yeah, got really, really unlucky there. Second attempt. In this case, I will, put all my weight on the gate and pray for the best. But he's also quite winded now. He's quite tired, and his owner is still there, which is really, really helpful, because otherwise he wouldn't be sitting there like that. There's no chance. He'd be going absolutely nuts. So maybe it just dawned on him like he has to go in the box. I'm not sure, but as you can see, these boxes are getting beat up quite a lot. One of the zip ties popped off. We have to keep reapplying zip ties. In this case, we're going to apply some paracord and just tighten that up, because we don't want this stuff to break in transit. That's really a nightmare scenario, or especially when we're still in a hot zone. Just don't want those kind of things happening. But yeah, if you have spare boxes, please send them. Please get in touch with me. We will happily accept them, especially these plastic medium to large size ones. So yeah. So we loaded this guy in. She came with us, so she actually missed her last evacuation bus because she wanted to evacuate her dog, which completely fair. And it's lucky that we were around to then help her with that, because otherwise she would just had to stay, which is makes very difficult decisions, because you can't go on like a public transport bus with a dog like that.
We're gonna go back up,
so
turn this way.
Yeah, as you can see, still a gorgeous day. So we definitely want to be cautious. We want to be on the move. We have another evacuation left in town. But yeah, I mean, these are beautiful towns actually. Like the landscape around them and everything are really nice. But you realize quickly how deserted a town like this is. Even when I was coming to Kupiansk last year, there was more people than this. So yeah, really, really not good. You guys have been following on, so you have to park under a tree. Very good. I joke a bit about the lady staying in the back, because Sveta didn't think she'd get enough air. Look, the thing is, I think if we have to drive off quickly, we just don't want open doors and stuff like that. So yeah. Now, we were supposed to have the pin right where I was walking, but the lady changed her mind in terms of where we're going to pick up the dog, and she changed that last minute. So yeah, we have to head down another block down, which is quite frustrating, because we put in a lot of time and effort into planning, getting these things right, and then people change things up. So working with dogs is usually the least of the issues, and working with people is then much more so the random variable, because with dogs, catching poles, blow darts, there's lots of tools for worst case scenarios if you are on the clock. She is definitely someone which will never see this dog again. She'll never see her Lima, the dog's name. And yeah, these are very quick interactions, so you want to be as empathetic as you can. Really show them that you're going to take care of the animal and find a good home for it, which we absolutely do. Oh, I forgot there was a glide bomb that was coming in. That's when I grabbed the couple, took them with me behind a tree. That exploded just moments ago, but quite far away. I don't know if I would have moved otherwise, but just because I had civilians around, you're just a bit more cautious. And yeah, so no time to waste. Let's get the dog in a box. This dog is super sweet, super compliant. It's going to do whatever the owner wants. Some dogs just trust their owners implicitly. So this is a whole different picture than before. But yeah, all in all, really good day's work. And all these came back to the shelter. Everything went okay. And yeah, there's many more videos coming out of Kupiansk. I have a lot more to process, so keep an eye out on the channel, and let me know if you have any questions about anything at all. More than happy to answer them. I really just want to provide perspective in terms of just more depth and detail into how these things go. Thanks for watching.